A fresh boost to the Israeli-Palestinian peace process. And just 2 days before the ceasefire is due to end between Israel and Hamas, it comes at a crucial time. It's the UN's first resolution on the Middle East in almost 5 years, after a round of talks of the Middle East Quartet, Russia, the US, the EU and the UN. The Security Council resolution creates an important legal basis for further steps in a process that began last year. At a conference in Annapolis, a two-state solution to the Israeli-Palestinian conflict was first articulated. The UN resolution, proposed jointly by Russia and the US, continues that line of thought.
Remarkable day that we've had today, where we've had one resolution that was sponsored by the United States and Russia on the Middle East, something that I think might not have been foreseeable just a very short period of time. And I think, by the way, that is a product of the last several years of diplomacy on the Middle East.
The new UN document means sides will continue working so that a secure Israel coexisting with a viable Palestinian state could become a reality.
The adoption of the resolution, of course, doesn't guarantee that the situation will develop in the right direction. Much will depend on whether the Israelis and Palestinians themselves will be able to build and develop the necessary preconditions to move forward successfully. We are calling here for the full implementation by all parties of the conditions outlined under the roadmap.
The Bush administration had ambitions to have a Middle East peace deal sealed by the end of the year. This did not materialize. Some analysts say the U.S. was pushing the resolution forward in a bid for at least some foreign policy success before George Bush steps down in just over a month. The next conference on the Middle East will take place in the Russian capital next year. It wasn't the only topic of the day at the UN. A resolution on piracy in East Africa was adopted unanimously by the Security Council.
No American administration is going to want to see chaos in Somalia. We've been there. We've done that. It didn't look very good.
The document authorizes for the first time international military action against pirates on Somali territory, although Rice later said no U.S. troops would be part of any operation. Russia says the moves have the full backing of Somali authorities.
A week ago, we had a request from Somalia's government asking that, apart from operations in the territorial waters of the country, we would also consider action on land and in the air. This is a goal that has been set and has in principle been supported by the Security Council. The mechanisms of bringing such action to life, if they become necessary, will be worked out in close communication with the government of Somalia.
Somali pirates are currently holding at least 17 ships, including an arms-laden Ukrainian cargo vessel and a Saudi supertanker carrying 2 million barrels of crude oil. 2 resolutions adopted at the United Nations in one day. One is a milestone in the Middle East process. The other is set to help deal with piracy in Somalia. In both cases, it's just the tip of the iceberg, and much more remains to be done.